Another week, another sunny, hot, sweaty week. So very summery perfumes this week. Before I get going, I just want to thank everyone who's bought me a perfume bought me a coffee on my Buy Me a Coffee page. Incredibly generous. Thank you so much to my regular viewers, my subscribers who are actually regularly going over and popping me a little perfume. It's so sweet of you. If anyone watching this likes my channel and would like to help me try and get to 1,000 subscribers, which means I actually get the revenue from the adverts that YouTube make you watch on here, then I'd really appreciate you subscribing to my channel. It really, really is a very important part of the way that YouTube works, which is not something I actually realised until I started doing it myself. But anyway, so we'll start with a Brocard perfume from their Sense of Nature collection. So one of my signature scents for about a year was one of these perfumes. It smells very similar to this. This one is blackcurrant and mint. The one that I wore for about a year is tomato leaf and blackcurrant. They're incredible. They've got really similar notes. They've got the same kind of slightly green but sweet syrupy blackcurranty vibe. They're musky, they're pretty, they're fresh, they're perfect for summer. It's so pretty. So this, as you can see, is quite a full bottle because I wear the other one generally, and I've actually got 3 bottles of that are sort of almost empty. Whereas this is a brand new one, and I decided to wear this one. It's slightly sweeter, slightly more syrupy, but it's really quite similar. You do get some mint. The notes here are blackcurrant, mint, green notes, green leaves, red berries, musk, and rose. So it really genuine. It's got the same musk, it's got the same blackcurrant, it's got the same kind of green vibe to it. As the blackcurrant and tomato leaf. They're both beautiful, they're lovely, and unfortunately they're very difficult to get. They smell quite similar to Herbe by L'Occitane, so if you're interested, then maybe go and give that one a smell, because it's really got a similar vibe. That one's a little bit more honeyed, but it's not quite as watery fresh, and it definitely lasts way longer, but it has that same kind of vibe as this. So yeah, that was one I wore this week, and I love it. I love the Brocard Sense of Nature. It's really very sad that we can't get hold of them in the UK, or probably in most places at the moment. Then this is one of the monothemes. So I've made the video and it's due to come up on Wednesday. So I bought quite a few monothemes. I've actually managed to get, because the ones I wanted from Makeup UK that I couldn't get hold of actually came back into stock, so I've snapped those up and they're on the way. So I'm going to probably end up having to do a part 2. And those are actually mainly in fact maybe entirely part of the Book of Citrus collection that I've got coming. I've only got one of those in the haul that I'm putting up on Wednesday. That haul, if you're interested, also has the Aqua Colonias that I got recently. So that's my Wednesday video. This one I wore this week, and it is top notes cherry, middle notes cherry blossom, base notes musk, and woody notes. I really like this perfume. I think it's really pretty. It's way more cherry than it is cherry blossom. It smells like a slightly floral interpretation of a cherry syrup. It's really pretty. It's really light, easy to wear. I don't think any of the monothemes last very long. They all have quite kind of a very similar note in the dry down that's a slightly vanillic, musky kind of smell. This one I really like. This one I'm keeping. This is the one I think I got from eBay, but you can get this in lots of places. If you can't find these very easily for cheap, then they have, I think these are about £20. Well, I mean, it's still cheap, but not compared to makeup.uk. That's where these are. You can get them for like £12-15. I think they're between 20 and 25 if you get them from Marks and Spencer's in the UK. But yeah, I mean, it's a really easy reach, really pretty, quite sweet. I talk about it a bit more on the Wednesday video, so if you're interested, make sure you watch that one. Then we have this one yesterday. I'm recording this on Friday because I need to get a train out to the West Country later, and so everything I'm doing is a bit of a rush today because I've got to get myself to the train station and then get to see my family. And obviously I'm not going to be taking all my perfumes I wore this week with me, so I had to get this done. This is The Key by Justin Bieber. I just think this is the most excellent perfume. It's It's really easy to wear. It is slightly shampooey, but if you wear it in summer, that's when it's nicest, and that's when it's the least shampooey in a way. But it's like, it's basically an incredibly expensive fruity shampoo smell. It's really pretty. I don't mean like it smells like a really expensive perfume. I mean it smells like a very expensive shampoo. So it's not screechy. It's not annoying to wear. It's sweet. It's got exactly the right amount of vanilla in this one, in my humble opinion. So I can recognise there's a bit of vanilla in the base, but it's not like, oh, all I can smell is vanilla, which is what sometimes happens when it's like a fruity perfume with vanilla. Sometimes I get overwhelmed by how much vanilla there is. This is just perfect. So the notes here are bosenberry, pear, mandarin orange and osmanthus. Middle notes are peach, water lily and pink jasmine. Base notes musk, vanilla, raspberry and woody notes. Love it. Lasts really well. It's eau de parfum. And I think it's just so easy to wear if you like fruity perfumes. The bosenberry and the pear are maybe a little bit of raspberry, raspberry. But the bosenberry and the pear, I think, is what's strongest here. And I can definitely sense a bit of osmanthus. It's musky. And like I said, there's just that hint of vanilla, but I'm not sure that I'd be like, oh, it's super jasmine-y, or it's got loads of water lily, or it's very peachy. I think pear and bosenberry are really the main thing here, and it definitely smells berryish. If you are interested in like a bosenberry smell, but you want something a little bit more grown up, then Hugo Boss, is it Boss Woman or Hugo? It's Hugo Woman and Hugo Woman Extreme. They both have bosenberry in. Hugo Woman Extreme is like the grown-up version of this perfume. It's got tea and jasmine and grassy green notes, but it's also definitely got like a sweet dry down, very syrupy berry. So yeah, I mean, I love the Key, and you can get it for like, I think it's $6.99 on Direct Cosmetics for 50ml, which is amazing. So I wore two absolute classics, old school, cheap as chips perfumes this week, because I had a couple of evenings where it was just so unbearably hot in my flat that I got home from work, and going on the tube in hot weather is always a bit of a nightmare. So I got home, I maybe had to do some cooking. I just moved my thingy, sorry. And then let's pull that back. Oh dear. And then I was just so hot. I'm like, oh God, I'm going to have a shower. And then when I got out of the shower, I wanted something fresh, body spray like, you know. So I've wore both Chansons this week. These are Coty perfumes. They're eau de toilette, but just because of the kind of bottles they're in, they kind of function like a body spray. So they've got amazing, like, misty sprayers, and they're really cooling and lovely. This is a very leafy, grassy, green, citrusy, beautiful perfume that then dries down with kind of fruits and flowers and musk on top of that kind of greenness. So I'm going from the notes from a different site just because for Grande doesn't have the notes, they don't have the full list. This is a much better explanation of what this smells like. So top notes. Original Chanson de Eau by Coty. Mint, basil, mandarin, lemon, bergamot, orange, lavender and hyacinth. Heart notes are jasmine, ylang ylang, lily of the valley, mango, pineapple, green cardamom. Base notes iris, sandalwood, bamboo, musk and tonka bean. Now, you definitely get more of that sweetness from the tonka bean coming through in the base. You definitely get the musk. It definitely becomes slightly more powdery from that iris. This is one of the only perfumes that have bamboo in that doesn't start to smell like BO on my skin, which is a weird thing to say, but every other one that I've tried, it gets this really weird smell. The mango is one of the things that comes out when this dries down, along with the ylang and the lily of the valley. But when you first spray it, it's like there's something about the mixture of the basil and mint and the kind of greener vibes, plus the lavender, let's be real, that really makes this smell like kind of freshly cut grass or something. It's got a real green grassy smell. And then it's like lime, like sharp lime, even though it's lemon and bergamot and orange. For some reason, to me, I think this smells like lime. It smells like a kind of lime sorbet. I said, I think this is one of the first videos on my channel, and I think I said it smells like lime sorbet with grass sprinkled on top. And I really do think that's what it smells like. And then it kind of, the more it dries down, like I said, the more you get the tonka bean in the musk. I just really like Chanson d'Eau. I think it's a really good summer freshie that's super cheap. You can massively overspray it. On the skin, it actually lasts for a surprisingly long time. So I wore that one, and then I wore this one. Now, this one is an interesting one because, I'm going to put this here. And then I'm going to put this here next to the key. The reason being that this has some real crossovers with both the key, but mainly Justin Bieber's other perfume, Collector's Edition, that comes in a bottle that's a bit like the key. So I had that perfume for a little while, and I realised that it smelled so much like Chanson d'Eau Mar Azul that I was like, well, that one's a limited edition that people can't get, so I might as well sell that one, because these are like a tenner maybe or less. I think that one cost me $7.99. I'm not sure how much they cost at the moment, but you know, that one, that's one that people can't get hold of and people want. So I just thought, oh, I don't need both. And it was a bit woodier, and I wasn't quite so keen on the sandalwood in that perfume. So I'm just going to tell you, so in Collector's Edition, I decluttered that before I was making declutter videos, unfortunately, so I can't kind of show you it, but the top notes in that one are pear, passion fruit and bergamot. Middle notes are freesia, heliotrope and honeysuckle. Base notes apricot, amber, musk and sandalwood. The pear in it and the apricot were the strongest things to me. So it's got the pear from the key, so it has that same kind of vibe to it. It's got a slightly different sweetness because it's more like a kind of syrupy, fruity sweetness and slightly less vanillic. There's a lot of apricot in it for sure. There's a little bit of the tangy passion fruit. That it's definitely musky, but the sandalwood in that was quite strong to me. It wasn't like, it didn't smell like a particularly expensive sandalwood. It wasn't massively smooth, so I liked it, but I didn't love it. This one, Chanson d'Eau, this is called Mar Azul. This is top notes of apricot, blackcurrant and mandarin, heart notes of freesia, damask rose and lily of the valley, base notes vanilla, amber and musk. It's really similar. It's really similar to Collector's Edition, and it's really easy to wear. It's very pretty, it's nice and sweet, it's fruity. It's another one that's like a perfect hot weather body spray. So yeah, I'm really enjoyed wearing that one, because I haven't worn, well, to be honest, I haven't worn either of these since it was really hot last year. So I was really happy to pull them out again. They're ones I'm just going to keep out the way that I do my fresh laundry and lavender that I spray on my bedclothes as well, because it's just good when it's super hot. So what else did I wear? I wore this one to work. I took the whole bottle because I couldn't be bothered to decant it, even though it weighs a ton. I've got quite a big bag. You do need to respray this one a lot, but it is totally worth it because it's absolutely delicious. This is Rive Wave of Love, and this is their what's it called? Their dupe of Eclat Arpege by Lanvin. So this is the one that for ages I wasn't sure if I liked it because it just reminded me so much of light blue, but let's be real, it's so much better than light blue. It's way less masculine, it's less citrusy, it's got a real purple floral, and it's got tea in it. It's like elevated light blue that's far more kind of pretty. And less kind of sporty and woody smelling, if you see what I mean. But it's got that same kind of profile. It's like to me, Eclat d'Arpege, and therefore also Rive Wave of Love, because it smells exactly like it, is definitely the kind of best version of the light blue profile that I've ever smelt. And I have smelt so many things that smell a bit like light blue. So top notes, the more I wear this, the more I love it. And I know now why, because it turns out I just love the purple florals. I love lilac and wisteria. So top notes, lilac, lemon, black elder. Middle notes, tea, wisteria, peony, osmanthus and peach. Base notes, musk, amber and cedar. It's really pretty. It's really easy to wear. It's perfect for summer. It's cheap as chips. I think this bottle cost me maybe £7. It's absolutely lovely, fresh and pretty, and I can't believe I was nearly going to declutter it, because the more I wear it, the more I love it. I just needed to wait until it was really warm for this one. You can get Eclat at Arpege, like little 30ml bottles, and the bottles are so pretty for that range. I think you can get them for like 15 quid, so... But that one's not supposed to perform very well either, so I mean, it's probably worth just getting the big one, and getting this one. If depends if you care about brands. I'm wearing this one today because I'm going to my parents and I have a little miniature of this at theirs. I've got quite a few bottles of this. This is Boum green tea cherry blossom. This was also one of my signature scents for a little while, like properly the one I wore every single day. Sadly discontinued, really quite difficult to find. eBay is probably, if you're in the UK or in Europe, probably the only place you can find it is literally on eBay. For some reason you can get them really easily in like I think I keep seeing them in Africa, on African sites, or like in Thailand and places like that. But there doesn't seem to be any stock left in Europe. We seem to have used it all up. I might have used it all up. I've got quite a few bottles. This is just one of the best fruity tea perfumes ever. I absolutely adore it. It's delicious. The notes in this are top notes of tea, lemon, pear, middle notes cherry blossom, blackcurrant and rose, base notes peach musk. You can smell every single one of those notes. You can absolutely recognize every single one of those notes. It's easy to wear. It's absolutely tasty, fresh. Wow, someone's literally going down my road on a bike with a boombox as if it was the 80s. I mean, it's pretty impressive. The only thing I'll say about this is there are other perfumes that smell a bit like it, but those are also discontinued, a lot of them. So the only one that I can point to that's like a kind of tangier and not quite a sweet version of this is Elizabeth Arden's green tea pomegranate. Now that one is really shampooey. This one isn't anywhere near as shampooey as that one, which is why I decluttered that one, because I didn't need it with this, because I was never going to pick a shampooey version of this perfume. But yeah, if you're interested in this general kind of smell and you think this one sounds nice, you can't get hold of it, definitely have a look at green tea pomegranate. It's one of the only green tea flankers that I actually happily recommend, because most of them I don't particularly like. All right, I wore this one on one of the hottest days because I wanted to see what it was like. So this is Chopard and this is Happy Lemon Dulci. Dulci. I don't think I'm ever going to get that right. So this one, I got this quite recently and I've been waiting for a really hot day. And also this is another one where the bottle is absolutely massive and really heavy, because it's got this like glass lid, really thick glass bottle. So I didn't really want to take it to work. So this was one of my weekend days. This is a lemon perfume with quite a lot of green notes and a dry down that starts to get mango-y. So it's very fresh. I don't think it ever loses the kind of appley, cucumbery greenness that you get when you first spray it, but it definitely gets sweeter as that mango comes through. So the top notes are lemon, bergamot, mandarin orange, shisho and ginger. Middle notes are orange blossom, mango, apple, cucumber. Base notes mint and woody notes. That mint in the base keeps that kind of lovely greenness throughout it. Really nice to wear. It was super hot, worked really well. It's definitely not for people who don't like sharp perfumes. The sharpness is definitely muted a little bit by the kind of watery cucumber, the slightly vegetal smell and the slightly leafy smell. But it's got no sweetness when you first spray this. So it is very much like lemon juice, with no sugar. But then when that mango kicks in a bit later on, it becomes sweeter and sweeter. But it's never like a sweet perfume, if you see what I mean. It's like a fresh cut mango that hasn't been left for too long, so it's juicy, but it hasn't started to get too sticky, if that makes sense. So yeah, I do like that one. It's definitely staying. I think it's a really good freshie, and you can get it for really cheap in the UK at the moment. There's loads of sites selling this for like 15 quid. Oh my goodness, I wore this one to work. I just love it. Oh my god, one more smell. I love Aqua Colonias. Anyone who watches my channel knows I love Aqua Colonias. So this one is bergamot and green tea, or green tea and bergamot, I should say, the right way around. It's just delicious. It's just such an easy reach, beautiful perfume. It's exactly what it says on the tin, but it's probably mainly a very sweet, powdery bergamot, then with kind of a crisp, watery green tea. The green tea is like second in the mix. If I'd have named this, is probably the reason why I always think of it as bergamot and green tea, because I think it's mainly bergamot. But it's so easy to wear and it's so pretty, and it's such a fabulous one for hot weather. Oh, it's an Aqua Colonia, so you need to respray it. But again, like, these 50ml bottles are like a really good bag size because the glass isn't ridiculously thick. You know, it's not like this. This is like, so I think this is a 50ml as well, and it's just, this might be a 40ml actually. Yeah, 40ml. So this is actually got less liquid in it, but it's so heavy and big compared to the Aqua Colonia, so it's really easy to take these around. So I wore that one to work. I love it. I would happily recommend that, all of that range all the time, because I absolutely love it. Okay, I also wore this one to work, another one that's really easy to chuck in your bag. This is Junk from Lush. My other Lush video will come out at some point, but I've got so many backlogged videos, you know. I'm trying to kind of like logically put them up when I think it's sensible to do so. So Junk, let's have a look. I just got to find my notes here. That I'm not entirely sure I believe what it says on Fragrantica, because this Fragrantica actually lists blackcurrant, but I don't know that they actually list blackcurrant as being a genuine note. But this does smell like blackcurrant, if that makes sense. But this is something to do with the combination of the mandarin and the rosemary and sage that for some reason makes it smell like a herbal blackcurrant, like a sweet blackcurrant. It's got a very similar kind of blackcurranty smell that you get in the Comforter body spray from Lush, but without that like vanillic dry down, although this definitely has a real sweetness to it. So like I said, it's got rosemary, sage, Italian lemon, green mandarin, and it does list blackcurrant, but I mean, I don't know, maybe that's one of the ingredients on the Lush perfume that is actually a perfume, like a non-natural, like a synthetic note. I don't know, but it's if you don't like anything that smells kind of medicinal in a herbaceous way, you know, you've got like the medicinal that you get in kind of, I don't know, like Ariana Grande Cloud and like the BR40 kind of vibes. This is much more like, because of the rosemary and sage, it's got like a kind of apothecary style, herbaceous medicinal smell to it, especially when you first spray it. So it's really kind of invigorating and bright, almost, oh my God, my road today, almost as if it's like mint, you know. It's got that kind of wake you up in the morning brightness, a bit citrusy, and then it just almost instantly it starts to calm down. It gets more and more blackcurranty. It gets kind of sweeter, more syrupy. It's really pretty. It doesn't last a massive amount of time, this one, compared to some of the other Lush perfumes. I'd say the longevity isn't like amazing. I don't know whether this one might be better in cold weather, but just because of the kind of scent it is, this is one that I would much rather wear in warm weather. I just resprayed it a few times. Like, I reckon I put this on like every 4 hours maybe, so it's not too bad. But some of the Lush perfumes last for way longer than that. So, but yeah, I mean, I really like it, but if you don't like kind of herbal notes, it's not going to be for you. And then I am just, oh my God, that time of the month, guys, jeez. So I randomly, just the other evening, literally just before my cycle started, I just really was craving something incredibly sweet to wear. I'd had like a freshie on during the day, and I just wanted something super sweet. And I was thinking, if I ever wanted to actually do a full wear test of this little miniature that someone sent me, this is the time to do it. So this is a tiny miniature that I was sent with one of the things I bought from eBay. The seller sent me this little miniature of Sweet Like Candy. So I have a little tester of Ari, and I was like, I'm not really bothered about that one. It's okay. I wasn't that keen. This one, this is one that I quite like the smell of, but I got bored of it incredibly quickly. And not in a kind of I want to scrub it off but just like I just wouldn't want to smell like this for more than like a couple of hours. So I tried this on my wrist first and I quite enjoyed it, and then when it was on my neck as well, when I was actually wearing it, I did really enjoy it for a little bit. I thought it was really pretty, and then I kind of just instantly got a bit bored. It's got really nice notes in this, and I'm glad I'm not going to get rid of this little mini. I'm going to keep hold of the mini because I do think it's cute, and I do think I might wear this like every now and again. I very rarely, when I'm hot, get the urge to wear real sweet, creamy or powdery things. I'm still craving like sweet things, but like sweet, juicy things at the moment, you know, sweet, fresh things. This one is like hardcore, just very sweet, girly, very youthful. So top notes, blackberry, pear and bergamot. Middle notes, whipped cream, marshmallow, blackcurrant, frangipani, jasmine and honeysuckle. Base notes, vanilla and cashmere wood. At other times of the month, the wood in this gets on my nerves because it smells a bit tar-like again, as I always find that in every single one of Ariana Grande's perfumes to differing degrees. But it's not too bad in this one, and at that time of the month I didn't really notice it at all. This one, definitely marshmallowy, but it's not as marshmallowy as Ari, because I think that whipped cream just kind of calms that down a bit, turns it a little bit less powdery and a bit more creamy, but it's still incredibly sweet. Happily, I do have something that I think is a more juicy, fresh version of this, which is the Festival Night for Her by Hollister. Now, that one at certain times I can also smell a tar-like wood in, and when I first got it I couldn't smell that, and now it's been out in the air, like it's been aired out a little bit, I can smell that now. But again, depending on when I sniff it, I can't always smell it too strongly, so at least I know I can reach for that one. That I think is a really good alternative if you just want something that's maybe slightly more summery than this. But Sweet Like Candy, you know, it's just it's okay. It's not particularly interesting, but it just really served its purpose when I was craving something like insanely sweet. And I was for one evening last week. Right, so that's me. I've got to go because I've got to carry on packing, and then I've got to get my bum on the tube and get to old Paddington Station. So I hope everyone had a lovely week. If you have the chance to go and look at my community tab, I was really inspired by Claire Smith's fragrance wheel video. So I had a look and worked out some perfumes that I had for each of the subcategories in that perfume wheel. And if you're interested in doing the same thing, I'd be really interested to see my subscribers' perfume collections and what they would put in place in those subcategories. So yeah, if I don't think you can see it on the Apple app, but if you go online you'll be able to see it. So it's just under my community tab. Thank you everyone who subscribed. I really look forward to reading all your messages when you send me stuff, so comment and like and subscribe if you are feeling kind. Bye guys.